Hi everyone, my name is Nurul Farah Ain binti Cik Wan Nomaudin, matric number 141648 from LSP Group 16. Today, I'm going to talk about the ethical issue in fashion industry. Fashion is everything to society and the media. The fashion industry has transformed into a necessity in the life of people. Globalization has made it easier than ever to ignore where our clothes come from. The fashion industry has complex connection with many other fields, including manufacturing, advertising, production of raw materials, transportation, and retailing. The garment industry has been a massive export industry from as long as factory work has been around. The location of these factories are dispersed in many developing countries, depending on where manufacturers find the cheapest and fastest labor. One of the most popular and one of the most steady and popular location is China, which also known as world's factory in many areas of production. Also, many other Asian countries such as India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Ethical means that the product is environmentally friendly or made from organic or recycled materials. Ethical fashion is an umbrella term that describes the ethical fashion design, production, retail, and purchasing. It covers a range of issues such as working condition, exploitation, fair trade, the sustainable production, the environment, and animal welfare. The tremendous profits that stand to be made in the fashion industry has created the temptation to engage in unethical behavior. One of the biggest ethical issues in fashion industry is the environmental issue. In fact, it is the second largest polluter in the world, just after the oil industry. And the environmental damage is increasing as the industry grows. In most of the countries in which garments are produced, untreated toxic wastewater from textile factories are directly dumped into the rivers. This wastewater contains toxic substances such as lead, mercury, and arsenic. These are extremely harmful for the aquatic life and the health of millions of people living by those riverbanks. The contamination also reached the sea and eventually was spread around the globe. Another major source of water contamination is the use of fertilizer for cotton production, which heavily pollutes runoff waters and evaporates waters. Besides that, huge quantity of fresh water are used for the dyeing and finishing process of all our clothes. On top of those issues comes the problem of transportation. Since most of the Western production has been localized in Asia and Africa, the finished product has to be sent back to the home countries. Depending on the distance traveled and the type of transportation chosen, more or less carbon emission will be released. Animal welfare and the use of animal raw materials such as fur, leather, silk, and wool is also a growing issue. Every year, billions of animals suffer and die for clothing and accessories. Skin is torn from them to make leather, birds are held down while handfuls of feathers are ripped out of their sensitive skins, and small animals are caged for life before being killed for their fur. Sheep are often beaten and mutilated by workers stealing their wool and skin for shelling. Goats are similarly abused for cashmere and mohair. All this is done in the name of fashion. No matter the type of material or where it comes from, if the process involves animals, it involves horrific cruelty. But nowadays, the practice of wearing animal-derived materials is on its way to becoming the thing of the past, thanks to PETA. People for the Ethical Treatments of Animals, also known as PETA, is the largest animal rights organization in the world, with more than 6.5 million members and supporters. PETA works through public education, animal rescue, cruelty investigation, protest campaigns, and many others. PETA has also led radical action against top-tier brands, persuading them to stop using animal-derived materials. Practices related to people welfare are closely linked to the workers involved in the production stage. Manufacturers are looking for the cheapest workforce, which also involve children and young women who are underpaid while working abusively long hours. These practices are common in developing countries where production has been relocated to take advantage of the cheap workforce. Though it does create jobs, the quality and the social consequence can largely be contested. Indeed, in most of those countries, the minimum wage has been proven to be insufficient for the workers to meet their fundamental needs. Actually, it has been observed that in some countries, the legal minimum wage had been set below subsistence level to attract foreign investments. Added to unfair wage, the workers in the fashion industry also suffer from poor safety conditions. The government of producing countries worldwide are primarily responsible for working conditions and labor law complaints in factories. So, we can summarize that the environment, animal welfare, and working conditions are some of the ethical issues that always happen in fashion industry. In recent years, there has been a rise in consumer labels that promote ethical fashion such as no sweat, fair trade, and sweatshop-free brands. Attitudes are changing and people have become more educated about the issues. However, there is still a high level of general ignorance. Leading this fashion revolution are consumers and individuals who have woken up to the evils and injustice that mainstream and fast fashion companies inflict on millions of lives, both human and non-human, around the world. We need to take a stand and spread the message that no living soul should have to suffer and die in the name of fashion. That's all. Thank you.